What's going on YouTube, y'all squad? This is your boy Yakutis, and this is your review for The Real Housewives of New Jersey Season 12, Episode 4. For this particular recap, I'm pretty much just going to do a whole lot of pausing in and pausing out because typically I do this review the night of. A lot was going on last night. I don't feel like taking notes because it's early in the morning. So I'm going to just do that. And I'm trying to go off my memory. I just watched the first segment. Nevertheless, we're getting into it. Enough rambling. So we pick up where we left off. You have Dolores and Jackie Faze pretty much saying, "What you gonna do?" Which is shit. It's funny to me. It really is. And I will say I understand Dolores' frustration because it's just like, even though you did trigger Jackie by saying, "I don't need to hear from this." But she's having a conversation, and you address Jackie without addressing Jackie, and now Jackie is going off. So now it's just like, okay, let me divert my attention. What you gonna do? I will give it to Jackie. Jackie isn't backing down. I think it's more or less because production is there, but we can agree to disagree. The men are kind of, nudging Frank Senior, just like, dude, you might want to get your butt over there because I think they all know there's only one person that could either calm Dolores down or be able to physically remove her if she gets into fight mode. That will be Frank Senior. So he goes over there and pretty much kind of moves her away. Like she's still in the situation, but move her away. Um, and Dolores' whole thing is just like, if there's an issue or you feel that I'm not being that great of a friend to you, bring it to me. Don't bring it to anyone else. And for that, I do understand it and I do agree. Now we go from that to now Jackie is talking with Dolores. And Dolores is pretty much saying to her, "I'm a good friend to her." And Jackie pretty much is saying, "I stand by what I said. I don't feel that you're showing up for her in the capacity that you probably should." And Jackie even alluded to when she was going through everything on camera last season how Dolores was just like, because Dolores' whole thing is, if she doesn't feel that Jennifer needs more than what she's giving. And Jackie's whole thing is, you can't make that determination for a friend. I think what it really boils down to is Dolores is one of those people to where she don't like. I know some people where they don't do emotion. So if you're overly emotional, they can't do that. That's not how they are. So and that's more or less that's how some people are socialized. Where it's just like, I can deal with you being happy, I can deal with you being angry, but all these other emotions and the crying, I can't do that. So I think that's why she is like that, and she's not giving what they want her to give. But that's just how she is, and I think we need to understand that because not every friend is going to be the same. And I think we all know that we have that one friend that we can call and vent to. We have the other friend that we, call and do this with, where it's just like each person serves a different purpose, and not every person can sit here and fill all the roles that we need. Yeah. Um, but I will say that I think Jackie was also trying to say without saying is low key, look, the only person back that you got is Teresa's. That is the only person that you really gonna be down in the paint for. Point blank and the period. And also Jennifer and Jackie, though their time on the show together has been very rocky, Jackie has truly been a good friend to Jen, to the point where, if y'all remember, their families were like this. So I think that's another reason why Jackie made that comment, where it's just like, I hate what you're saying, but you ain't being that good of a friend. We get I should have wrote the names down. I'm trying to do everything off my memory right now. Hold on, y'all. Jennifer and Marge, those two are talking, and I guess this was the whole thing of, I guess in Marge's mind, okay, we've let this go long enough. Let's, because I felt like it was okay. Let me go ahead and kill this so we can move on to the next story. Like, because I felt Marge's whole thing is, let me get it popping. Because like I said, for the last couple of seasons, Jersey been getting it popping with the first couple of episodes. So I guess she was just like, all right, enough has happened. Let's dead this, and that's what they do. But what Marge was saying to her is, let me explain to you the hypocrisy and why I feel the way that I feel. where you crucify me for how I live my life, but your husband is me, but you stayed with him. And a lot of people have said it. I didn't. I didn't say it. But I know a lot of other reviewers did say that maybe, just maybe, Jennifer saw Marge and then literally put all of her insecurities and everything onto her, where it's just, you remind me, or you're the personification of the person that came and ruined my marriage. So Jennifer pretty much admitted that, and then in addition to that, was saying that she was trying to protect him. Now, Jennifer, I'm gonna need for you to like really make sure that your story is straight, because you previously said the kids. Now, I do understand, a whole lot of things can be true at the same time, but this is the first time you're bringing up his reputation and the clubs that you guys belong to, and then the fact that, people within your community are going to feel away because if your husband had to go and get it from somewhere else, then that means that you weren't doing your due diligence as a woman. But again, we live in a patriarchy where that is the mindset, and you have a lot of women that are male identified. So they're going to have that opinion. But I can appreciate Mars telling her, where it's just like, if your husband go out and cheat, that is not your fault. It isn't. Even, and here's, and real talk, even if Jen is a crappy wife, if the man feels as if he's not getting what he needs to get, then a conversation needs to be had, and then he can file those papers, and then he can exit out, without having to sit here and mess up the union that is built. But there is no excuse for cheating. Not at all. Not at all. I'm sorry. There's not. There's not. But I can appreciate Mars trying to give her that, that little bit. Um, Melissa, who ain't had a storyline for the last 3 episodes, walks up to, what's her name? Jackie and Dolores. Like, is everything okay? Like, again, she has to get her camera time. And they're like, yeah. Pretty much it's one of those where it's just like, we don't see it for each other, but we have a mutual understanding. So, man. And then, because Melissa whole thing is like, because I'm doing the short thing. I need to make sure everybody's there because this is her storyline or whatever. This is, I don't know what it is, y'all. I really don't. And pretty much all the girls saw, yay, yay, going to the shores. All right, so now we get the Jackie package, and she goes to seek treatment, and that was intense. That was definitely intense. Where it reminded me of having to go and do psych eval for VA disability, and just literally pretty much just kind of having to spill my guts and be like, okay, well, this is this is that, blah blah blah, and it is one of those like when you're actually saying it out loud, it's just like, dang, I kind of am that stuff. But in this, she explains her eating habits, how she pretty much eats salads all the time, maybe minus 2 meals a week, but that's pretty much it. Tingling in her fingertips, dizziness, all these other things. She even shares with us that when she was in high school, that most of the men, oh well, not men, most of the boys would say they like being able to pick up the girls like with their pinky, meaning they want the pencil thin women, girls, because there's, y'all know what I mean, dang nabbit. So that was one of those, like, that was conditioning for her. And then when she finally got to a place where she was that size and got the attention, she never wanted to, leave that type of, experience. So that's why she is the way that she is, which one thing that we all need to remember is like things in our childhood, even our teen years, help shape us to be the adults that we are. It's just many of us don't want to do the work to dig deep and figure out why that is, and then put the work in to make the changes. But the lady that was speaking with her, the therapist, if I'm not mistaken, pretty much said she needs to go to her doctor, get some labs done, and then based off the results of that, we can then begin to build you a treatment plan. Because if we just build you a plan right now based on this information, your body could, in essence, her body could attack itself. She could have a heart attack or anything like that. So they want to make sure before they give her any treatment, they know what they're dealing with, and more than likely, they're going to have to take take baby steps to get her to where she needs to be. Hmm. Okay, so now we have the Dolores package. A lot going on there. So it's a family dinner at a restaurant to lay down the ground rules. Frankie Senior pretty much just kind of doing the whole like you pretty much let me pull rank before we even get the conversation started. Well, actually, it was actually Gabby talking about some don't bring no hoes around, and he's just like it is what it is, but I am the father, sir. Yes, you are their father. You will forever be their father. But this is one of those where we're at a plane of we're all adults. They may not be grown, but all four of y'all are adults. The only thing that I didn't like about the conversation is you have like Dolores should be the one setting the ground rules. Like I feel it's okay for the adult children to voice their opinions and what they think should happen, but the reality is the person paying the mortgage, lease, whatever it is Dolores, which means that she has the final say so. And I felt it should have been why don't we all put our grievances out there and then I will make the final decision on who does what. Because I'll be all the way honest. If it's me and I'm paying and it's all on my shoulders, there's only one person having relations in the house and it's me. And I ain't having relations, so y'all dang sure ain't having relations. But Frank was a little bit disrespectful because he was just like, okay, so you have your boyfriend over and then Gabby is just like, but we don't. I don't want to have to hear it 3 floors down. And then Frank's just like, don't be mad because your man ain't satisfying you the way I satisfy my. And I looked at Frank and I thought, Frank Senior, Frankie, you doing too much, sir. You are doing way too much, and you are doing and you are saying this to your daughter. Even though Gabby was being a little flip at the mouth, but still, you don't come at your daughter like that. Oh, like Lord. And then Frankie Jr. he turned around and was like, you know what? I'm about to exit stage left. Okay, because I ain't got this to do. I ain't signed up for this. Y'all doing the most. Y'all messing up Frankie Jr.'s little nice sensibilities and stuff. But they all come to a nice little, okay, this is what this is. Okay, whatever. They no Frankie Sr. asks about, okay, what's going on with David. And Dolores, it took her a minute to get there, but they're no longer together. The kids feel away because it's like, dang, like this was something good right there. But Dolores pretty much said when she was by herself, pretty much a lot came to her. And she was able to figure some things out and just figure like, you know what, this isn't it for me right now. Which I think was a beautiful thing because a lot of people don't want to be with their, be with the silence and be with their mind because hey, when you in the silence, your heart and your mind get to speaking and sometimes you're not ready for those truths, but it's a good place to be. But she even said, because I think it was Gabby that said, so are we not? No, no, no. It was Frank that was just like, my loyalty is to you. But are we okay with, still conversing with David? And I appreciate that. Where it's just like, okay, we don't want to sit here and, because you can't tell another adult person what to do, but I appreciate the fact that all three of them are being respectful. It's like, is it okay with you if we maintain a relationship? The lowest thing is I brought him into y'all lives, so y'all are more than welcome to. I appreciate that. Ooh, excuse me. So, Melissa and Joe are at the shore, and we get a lot of quick, choppy scenes. But from what we get, Melissa still doesn't trust Jen, which on one hand, I do understand it. If you are coming for my character and my integrity, I am going to have a problem. Now, even though I am a Generation Y, I was born to a baby boomer and I connect with the whole thing of as a person, but in this instance, as a man, you only have two things that is your name and your word. That is it. So messing with that for me is an issue. So I can understand that. But at the same exact time, I really feel Melissa's just holding on to this for a storyline. And the reason I say that is why is it that Jackie has already had and here's the thing, you ain't got to have a conversation with anybody, let's be clear. But Jackie didn't have a conversation with her. Marge had a conversation with her. Both of them to squash stuff. You the only one that's literally sitting here holding on. That's all I'm saying. Like, at least try to have the conversation. And then if you get nowhere, then it's just like for the rest of the season, it's yeah. That's it. That's all. But nevertheless, moving on. Bill is only going to be there for 2 days. Jen feels a way about the whole Delolo and, Jackie thing because what she was saying is when it was brought up that you weren't being a good friend, the fact that she got overly defensive was a red flag for her and pretty much kind of confirmed everything, which I do understand that. But you also have Frank and Dolores having a convo and Dolores saying how that upset her. And Frank was just like, look, I know you. I saw a look in your eye. Obviously, you're in a vulnerable place. I just need for you to not go there. And she told him stay close. All right now. So we have everybody else coming to the shore houses and whatnot, and you're gonna have, let's see, Jennifer, Bill, their children, Teresa, and Louie in one house. Then there is, I believe, Marge, Jackie, Evan, I think both the Joes, and Tracy. We don't care about her. They're all in one house, and I guess Dolores and Frankie and just going to be in their shore house. That's how it's looking right now. Um, Let me see. We also hear that apparently peoples from Louis' past are speaking out against him, so people not seeing it for him. So we're going to continue to push this narrative about Louis. And when Teresa arrives and is with Jen, Jen downloads her on what happened, and she's upset at the fact that she doesn't have Dolores's full support, and how after Marge gave her more information, how okay, well now I don't feel that bad for you, and I don't know how I feel about blind support. I really don't know how I feel about that, to be honest. I whatever, but what she was doing is in her telling this to Teresa, because Teresa's all about loyalty, and now here is Jen somewhat trying to put a wedge in there. I don't really like that. Jen, you being a little sneaky. All right, and to go ahead and end this, haha. So, Dolores feels that it was okay for Jen to have those emotions, and Jen says in her confessional, pretty much, it's like, "Oh, thank you," because I thought it was a human reaction. Who knew that type of stuff? Which leads us to believe, because we all know confessionals are typically, or not even typically, are shot after, not at the very end, but after so much of taping. So leads me to believe there's probably still going to be some friction there between her and Dolores. The BBQ location has changed, so it's going to be at Jen's house, which is where Teresa is staying. Um, also, the whole talk of what happened. No, skipping ahead, my bad. The girls, minus Jen, Teresa, and Dolores, talk about Louis and things that are coming out, and then the guys are also talking about that as well. Then Dolores shares with Jen and Teresa that she and David broke up, and Jen is like, "Okay, well, I understand why you were on a warpath the other day. It all makes sense now. Like, okay, cool, I get it." So then what happens after that is, you know, because Dolores trying to figure out like, okay, the thing with her and Jackie, she was like, okay, well, Jackie said, well, in reference to your situation, it doesn't matter. He shouldn't have stuck his Johnson in somebody else, and that has Jen feeling a type of way. Now, and she even said at her party. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. I believe that comment was probably said at Dolores's party. It was either Dolores's party or Teresa's party. But it seemed as if she was trying to make it seem like she said this at her party. meaning at Jackie's own party. And it's like, okay, well, I see what you're trying to do, Delolo. You know, hey, divide and conquer. It is what it is. I can't be too mad at you. Can't be too mad at you. So, let me see. So all the ladies pretty much get back to the shore houses, all that good jazz. Louis is a few minutes out, but doesn't pretty much he doesn't want to do it. I guess because he has been hearing that people have been talking about him, and that has given him a cause of concern. Like, okay, I don't. And Teresa's whole thing is she's upset, and she went into the bathroom to have a conversation with him. She says to him, "I might." And they do this a lot where it's just like if it's something tense, they'll be like, "Hey, I might," and he was just like, "Yeah, no." So she turns her mic off. They have a private conversation. Teresa lies to production because they were just like, "Did he talk to you?" She said, "No, you're lying." But she wants to protect him because she's in the public eye. He isn't. Again, I think he's a good guy, but I do get a weird vibe from him that he wants to be famous. And if that's the case, I mean, you kind of sort of have to take the stuff that comes with it. So yeah, he doesn't want to be there. Doesn't want to be on camera. None of that stuff. Teresa has sent Melissa a text saying back me and Louis. So that whole loyalty thing of y'all need to have my back, I don't need to have your back type of stuff. And Teresa pretty much just says she's leaving, and that's where the episode ends. So tell me what you guys thought about it. Hopefully you enjoyed this review. Please rate, comment, subscribe, and share, and I will see you guys for the next video, whatever that may be. All right, peace out. Bye, y'all.